Aloha, and welcome to Betty's Real Estate Corner, brought to you by Sakamoto Properties, Coldwell Banker at Kapalua. Roy Sakamoto, my husband, is here, and we've got, I think, a ton of different ideas, things we're going to talk about. We have Norm Eston, Dr. Eston, calling in to kind of give us an update again on what's going on with COVID, testing, and vaccinations. And I think it's time we all straighten up and fly right.
And we have Chris Meyer from Meyer Computer here in the studio.
Chris is a fabulous, he does our website, let's say. Let's start with that. And people seem to find us, so life is good as long as we hang in there with Chris at Meyer Computer.
No, we've been with Chris for a lot of years and very, very satisfied, very happy.
Could it be 30 years, Chris? Do you have any idea? It's a long time. 20 years, easy.
25 probably.
Is it?
25 years?
He's
Wow.
saying 25 years. I said 30. Roy, what do you think? Let's stick with that. We'll go 25 to 30 years. But it's been really great. We've grown a lot with it. We've never tried to out-trick ourselves, or at least that's how I feel about it sometimes. We like it to be, it's real estate. It's a real estate website. We try to stick with that, what we're doing. Sometimes we get on restaurants and a whole bunch of different things like that, but it's a real estate company, and we're having fun doing it. So Roy, what are you thinking today? Should we get on?
Well, for the first time since this pandemic started, we took a trip to Honolulu.
That was amazing. We were there 2 nights. I feel like we were away a week. Didn't it seem like it was more than 2 nights?
Yeah.
It really was great. We stayed at the Halekulani. They were reopening, and it's not a place we typically stay. We're more Ala Moana Hotel or the Hawaii Prince, which we both love. For me, if I'm alone, I like going there. They're my path of least resistance, and I'm close to the Ala Moana Shopping Center. But Halekulani was really spectacular.
It was, and what's interesting, at check-in, they asked to see our vaccination cards, which put a whole new light on staying at the Halekulani. They mentioned that all their employees were vaccinated, and they're asking their guests to be all vaccinated. So walking into restaurants and so forth, if you were staying at the Halekulani, you realize that everybody in the restaurant was vaccinated. Pretty cool.
Even just, and when they did everything, though, I think, correctly. When you got on the elevator, there was a direction there to not have more than 4 people on the elevator. Now, obviously, if it was a family, different thing. But 4 people, again, I just think it's good for people right now that we don't overdo anything. I mean, people are still catching the virus. Vaccinated people can still catch the virus. But hopefully, and everything that I've heard is that if they do, they end up with a much lesser case. And but still, I mean, to get on the elevator there, I always felt very comfortable. And people, again, were masked when they got on the elevator. Everything, it was really great.
It really was. And it's such a pretty setting. You're basically right next to the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center. A lot of restaurants, a lot of shops there. Right next to the old Royal Hawaiian Hotel.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And
Waikiki Beach.
Yeah.
We got out on Waikiki Beach for a bit, and that was really pretty spectacular.
One thing I noticed, though, there's a definite lack of visitors walking around compared to past visits when we've gone to Waikiki.
Definitely. There is no question. There's fewer people, which is nice. I mean, it may be a great time for all of us to take a trip, to go over the shopping center, Ala Moana, a little different than it used to be. I don't think it's as stocked as it was. I wasn't finding, I don't know, just because I don't get shopping other places that much, and I love getting over there. It wasn't quite what I was used to, but I just think it's hard getting stuff. Fewer people around, fewer people shopping, so they just have less inventory.
Well, we're practicing for a trip next week.
I know.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take a trip. We're going to a wedding
Yeah.
in New York City. And I grew up in New York State, so I have been there many times, and I love it. I've got to say, even this morning, I woke up a little saying to Roy, I mean, what do you think? Should we really be doing this? And it is a little scary, the idea of the plane ride. and so many people is a little scary. And we are at that age where I sure would not want to end up with the virus, even though we're vaccinated and we've had the 2 Moderna, and then we were able recently to get the 3rd shot, which makes me feel even better, especially traveling. And we're watching out what we're doing. We're being really cautious still, but it's hard. And now to fly somewhere that far.
Yeah, if you think it's scary for you to go to New York, what about me? I got to wear a suit.
Oh, now
and
there.
tie. Now that's scary.
Now that is that is definitely scary. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Interesting for anyone that's lived on Maui. And Roy was born and raised here. I've been in here like 47 or 48 years. But when you try to go to a city, the one thing I know is I don't have the right shoes, period. You know, to actually look. I mean, I'm better in flats or my walking, running type shoes, Keds or whatever, and flip-flops, you know, any sandal. And I don't think that's going to work right now in New York in October. It'll be cold.
No. Otherwise, I'd wear slippers with my suit.
I know,
Yeah.
which you probably will still do. I hate to say
Might be
that.
too cold.
You'll do it. You've done it before.
We'll check it out.
Well, we have Dr. Eston calling in shortly, but why don't we go ahead and think a little. Our office, as a lot of you know, we moved our office shortly after the pandemic started to Kapalua, and we have a great office there right next to where the florist is and Sansei and the Poorhouse restaurant.
Yeah, right. We had Sakamoto Properties for 40 some odd years, and merged back in February of last year with Coldwell Banker Island Properties.
It's been quite a year. It's been an amazing run. It's so spectacular. We're right now redoing the whole upstairs. You know, so Coldwell Banker has been fabulous about seeing to it that everything gets done. Great conference room. All of our agents are there now from about 7:30 in the morning till 7:30 at night. And so many people are just stopping by to say hello. You know, a lot of the Kapalua owners are there and out walking around, or somebody staying on the resort, or just people that are coming up to play golf. I one day, there was a guy walking with his golf clubs, and he didn't bring a car. His wife dropped him off, probably because she was shopping. But I grabbed my car, and I said, just hop in, I'll take you back. He was staying in Napili and was trying to walk back. So it's fun, the people that are coming around and talking and whatnot, and vaccinated, hopefully, the majority, and we're testing. You know, it's pretty interesting. But anyway, back to a little bit of real estate. The real estate market, as everybody knows, has gone pretty crazy. And the best news has been that the interest rates have stayed low. So anybody looking to make a purchase today, prices have gone up, but the interest rates definitely counter that in an amazing way.
Yeah, talk to your realtor. Give us a call, Roy at 870-7060, Betty at 870-7062. And, you know, if we can't help you, we'll find somebody that will.
And the other thing is, if you know a realtor already, I mean, a lot of people that end up calling have been, you know, live here, have been working here forever, or have a realtor that they've known. Call your realtor, because there are some absolutely amazing realtors here on Maui. You know, sometimes you might meet the youngest, newest realtor who actually will be as professional as anybody, very knowledgeable, and so wanting to make it in the business. And then there's a lot of, we'll call the old timers like us, that are still enjoying what we're doing, loving real estate and loving helping people find homes. So, you know, call us. Again, Roy just said 870-7060 for him, 870-7062 for me. What properties did you think of for today?
Well, there's several. We can start with condominiums. And Rick Kepler from our Coldwell Banker office at Kapalua has a great listing at Kahana Manor. It's unit number 313. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. It's a great owner-occupant building, and it's listed at $539,000. Call Rick, 283-3729, 808-283-3729. Rick Kepler, Tell them you want to see Kahana Manor, unit number 313.
What's the square footage of that?
It's about 630 square feet. Very livable for a one bedroom.
Interesting, though. There's another listing at Kapalua.
Uh-huh.
Now it's going to be a little bit more expensive, listed at $995,000, but it's 1,100. It's over 1,100 square feet, one bedroom, two bath. You know, great areas outside. It's walk-in, no stairs walking in, no stairs walking out. You can see the ocean. The golf course is right there. So again, you know, you're going to find right now, everybody thinks the market is so out of control. But if you look at that, $600,000 would get you an oceanfront condominium, great property, and or you can come to Kapalua and end up with a place twice the size. And
That's a great property. It's 2312 at the Ridge, and it's a one bedroom, two bath. It's well located, right on the golf course. There's number 3 fairway is right in front of you. Great ocean views, and
over 21 acres of land
yeah,
for the Ridge.
At
So
the
you've got
Ridge.
walking to 2 large pools. Pretty spectacular. You can walk to a number of beaches close by. You can walk to the Ritz-Carlton, Montage, and Napili Kai for great restaurants nearby.
and very easy to see. So this is one of our listings. So call Roy at 808-870-7060 or Betty at 808-870-7062. We have to start using 808 now.
I know. I was
Yeah.
thinking that a minute ago. But going back to the one you said a minute ago, Honolulu, it's an oceanfront property. You're right there on the water. And again, it's close to, it's 566 square feet of living area plus the lanai, and one bedroom, one bath. Oceanfront, that is pretty good. And again, same interest rates. You know, you've got better interest rates than ever today. So really worth taking a look into it.
Here's a great listing in Kahana at Hololani. Hololani is an oceanfront development right in Kahana. It's a two bedroom, two bath. Unit number is B302. About 947 square feet of living area, and listed at $730,000, which is fantastic for a two bedroom, two bath. And it's listed by Evan Harlow. Evan is at 808-214-4799. So call Evan and tell him what you'd like to see B302 at Hololani.
And now we have Dr. Norm Eston on the phone to give us the current update, coronavirus and everything coronavirus. I hope he's got information for us on testing, should someone need it, everything we need to know about vaccines. And I know that Norm knows the reason why whoever's listening right now trying to not get vaccinated. Norm, do you have anything that you could tell them, please?
Hey, aloha. Good afternoon, Betty and Roy.
Aloha.
I'm
Aloha.
Our Times Urgent Care Center on the west side with our new PA, Kate Scott. Say hi, Kate.
Hi,
Aloha.
Kate. Nice to meet you on
Yeah.
the phone.
Nice to meet you as well.
We've been busy today, less busy with real sick people with coronavirus because fortunately the numbers are going down. We were increasing the numbers of vaccinations. We're still doing a lot of testing, not as much as a few weeks ago because there's not as many cases out there. So we are on the decline, but we are far from out of the woods yet, both with the whole coronavirus and the Delta variant. Now, there's reason to believe that we're going to make it through this okay. We've got control on the numbers coming in. The hospital's not overwhelmed yet, but we are certainly not going to come out of this unless more people get vaccinated. And we can keep observing all the mitigation, like wearing the masks and social distance when we're out in groups or indoors. Very, very important. We are far from out of the woods on this. There are new cases, hundreds of new cases every day, and it's still the leading cause of death for this year all over the United States. So we want to do what we can. And again, the only way to make sure that you're not going to get real sick or wind up in the hospital is to get the vaccination. We've got lots of supplies. We've got a meeting this afternoon with the Department of Health. We have all the Pfizer, all the Moderna, some Johnson & Johnson. So there's no question about availability. We've guaranteed that it's free for anybody if they have any kind of insurance. They can go to any doctor's office. They can go to any pharmacy. Lawrence and CVS are doing a great job, as well as Walgreens and the private pharmacies now. And so we're getting the numbers in. As you know, the vaccine for kids from 12 to 17 has been approved, the Pfizer. So all those can get them, and it's very, very safe, effective, easy, painless. And the good news that is also this week, as everybody knows, Pfizer has applied for approval for the younger group from age 5 to 11, a lower dose, but they've gone through it. It's very, very safe for kids. So it's going to stem the next spread, which is going to be among school kids. I can guarantee you. We have, the last few weeks, been seeing most of the cases, the kids coming into the hospital because they're vulnerable, because they haven't been vaccinated and they've been around people who've been carriers. So it's going to be great to have that vaccine out here, and I don't think it's going to be very long until we have it. In the meantime, all the 12 to 17-year-olds should be coming by their local doctor's office, us, doctors on call, the hospital, the pharmacies, wherever they can to get it.
Hey, Norm, in a quick break, can you come up with one thing that you can tell any listener and that we can all repeat all day today? When we talk to someone who is unvaccinated and has some sort of a stupid story about why they're unvaccinated, is there any one thing that we could say that might change their mind? If so, maybe you or Katie have a possible answer.
Well, it's hard. There's so much misinformation out there on Facebook and YouTube, and it gets disseminated very, very quickly. And it's a real problem. There's a lot of fear. All I can say is we don't have anybody getting sick or dying from the vaccine, and we've got millions around the world dying from the COVID and the coronavirus. So, all somebody has to do is go on YouTube and see all those videos of people in the hospital with COVID in the intensive care unit saying, "Oh my God, I wish I had taken the vaccine." And that's just it. We are not all safe. Okay, no one of us is safe until everyone is safe. So, we're going to be relatively safer here in a few months to the rest of the world, but we're not going to be real safe because we're dependent on people coming in by airplane, and there's going to be people carrying it in. It's going to take a couple of years to get this whole planet, vaccinated and protected. And even so, some of it will go into the background and become a minor illness like a bad flu, and hopefully we won't have the bad, hospital complications that we have now. But that's a ways off. So the mantra is, no one of us is safe until all of us is safe.
That sounds good. So no one of us will ever be safe unless all of us are safe. All of us are vaccinated. Right. Okay.
Now, people will say, hey, I got vaccinated, I still got sick anyway. And that's true, because you can still get, but you're going to get a minor sickness. Now, remember, vaccines are not designed to protect you 100%, okay? To give you, in the medical term, is sterilizing immunity. That means you are invulnerable. You've got a giant lead shield around you. You can go anywhere in the universe. That's not what a vaccine is designed to do. Vaccines are produced to protect people from getting very sick and dying or being in a hospital. They may get a minor illness, sort of like the flu vaccine. Sometimes people get the vaccine and they still feel a little fluish. It would be a lot worse if they hadn't gotten the vaccine. So that's what the secret and the gift that vaccines are. In the course of the history, vaccines have probably saved more lives all over the entire world than anything else. The only thing that can come close is clean water. So clean water and vaccines, ever since the end of the 19th century, are what's made us have a population boom and survive. They are the gift from science to all of us.
Well, I think that really says a lot, Norm. We are kind of winding down now. I think we're down to about 4 minutes. But I feel like we've gotten a great message out, and thank goodness we've got you on the phone with us again. we sure hope that you'd come over and join us and just have that moment here. But just having you on the phone is such a great message out there for everybody on Maui, and to travel home with it. And I think it is vitally important. We've got to figure it out.
Totally.
I've heard a few people say that you shouldn't be allowed in the hospital unless you're vaccinated. Now, I think that could be viewed pretty poorly by a lot of people, but to a certain extent, it seems like it could be true. I mean, why is it someone goes around with all sorts of stories about why they're not going to get vaccinated, then gets the virus, then ends up in the hospital and just carrying it a step further, in a way that could make other people so sick at the hospital? Did that make sense?
Makes total sense. And the reality is, if you don't feel you want to protect yourself, if you don't feel you want to protect your family, if you don't feel you want to protect your whole neighborhood, if you don't feel you want to protect your island and your workplace, you're not going to be able to do squat. You're not going to be able to go into a hospital. You're not going to be able to get on a plane. You're certainly not going to go into a restaurant for indoor dining. You're not going to be able to get on a bus. You're not going to be able to get on a movie. You can't do squat. So if you want to stay in your home and not go out and not do anything for the rest of your life, okay, then maybe you don't, absolutely have to get the vaccine. But if you want to live any kind of life at all in public, you've got to get this vaccine. But everybody out there has already had 10 or 12 vaccines over the course of their life, and none of them have been as safe as this one. This is the safest one ever made. I mean, we had all the scientists in the world come together over a year, after years and years of pre-research and working on these things. They were already prepared for this. This didn't come out of the blue. We knew there was going to be a pandemic. We had the preparation. It's like when you cook a gourmet meal, you've got food prep already done, and then you don't really have it ready for until the meal is served, and you decide what spices, what sauces, and you put it all together. That's the way this vaccine came together. They had all the prep done for a couple of years, and they blasted this thing out in a year. It's amazing that we've been able to do this. Normally, it would take 10 years to get this. So there was a lot of preparation went into this. It's very safe, very well thought out, and I tell you, I feel it's a gift for me to be able to be part of helping to share both the testing and the prevention and the mitigation and the vaccination for our communities here, our West Maui community that you and Roy are part of, and our entire island.
Thank you, Norm. Thank you, Doctors on Call. We're down to less than 2 minutes, so I think we're going to use it up with a little bit of real estate and hope everyone has gotten the Norm Eston Doctors on Call message.
Yeah, thanks for all you do, Norm.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it.
For the whole community.
Yeah. And welcome on board, Kate.
Right.
Aloha.
Right, aloha. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thanks. Roy, you want to try? We've got a couple of house listings. Elizabeth Quayle has a great listing on Kalepa Place in the heart of Kaanapali. One of the best streets ever there. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. And we're back with Danny Couch.
Danny Couch.
And he's the best part. He's the star of the show.
Absolutely.
And love to hear him, and he's the person I play in my car every day.
Check us out, SakamotoProperties.com.
Aloha.
Aloha.